Welcome to our exploration of market equilibrium, a fundamental concept in economics. Market equilibrium occurs when the quantity demanded by consumers matches the quantity supplied by producers. This balance leads to a stable market price, ensuring that resources are allocated efficiently. Understanding equilibrium helps us grasp how markets function and why prices fluctuate. Throughout this video, we'll break down the mechanics of equilibrium, examine real-world examples, and discuss its significance in everyday transactions. Let's begin by defining the core elements of supply and demand and how their interaction shapes the marketplace. Supply refers to the amount of a product or service that producers are willing and able to offer at various prices. As prices rise, suppliers are generally more motivated to produce and sell more, hoping to maximize profits. Conversely, lower prices may discourage production. The supply curve typically slopes upward, reflecting this relationship. By understanding supply, we can see how producers respond to market signals and adjust their output accordingly. This dynamic is crucial for achieving equilibrium, as it directly influences the availability of goods in the market. Demand represents the quantity of a product or service that consumers are willing and able to purchase at different prices. Typically, as prices decrease, demand increases because more consumers find the product affordable. The demand curve usually slopes downward, illustrating this inverse relationship. By analyzing demand, we gain insight into consumer behavior and preferences. This knowledge is essential for predicting how changes in price affect purchasing decisions and for identifying the conditions necessary for market equilibrium. Market equilibrium is achieved at the intersection of the supply and demand curves. At this point, the quantity supplied equals the quantity demanded, resulting in a stable market price. This intersection is not just theoretical, it's observable in real markets where prices adjust until buyers and sellers agree. The equilibrium price ensures that there is neither a surplus nor a shortage, allowing for efficient allocation of resources. Understanding this intersection helps us predict market behavior and anticipate changes when external factors influence supply or demand. Surplus occurs when the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded at a given price. This situation often leads to downward pressure on prices, as sellers compete to attract buyers. Surpluses can result from overproduction, changes in consumer preferences, or external shocks. When a surplus exists, producers may lower prices or reduce output to restore equilibrium. Recognizing surpluses is important for understanding how markets self-correct and maintain balance over time. Shortage arises when the quantity demanded surpasses the quantity supplied at a particular price. This imbalance typically causes prices to rise, as buyers compete for limited goods. Shortages can be triggered by sudden increases in demand, supply disruptions, or regulatory changes. To resolve a shortage, producers may increase output or prices may adjust upward until equilibrium is restored. Understanding shortages helps us appreciate the dynamic nature of markets and the importance of price signals. Prices act as signals in the marketplace, guiding both buyers and sellers. When prices rise, they indicate increased demand or reduced supply, prompting producers to ramp up production. Conversely, falling prices suggest excess supply or decreased demand, encouraging producers to cut back. These signals help coordinate economic activity and ensure resources are allocated efficiently. By paying attention to price movements, market participants can make informed decisions and adapt to changing conditions. Competition plays a vital role in maintaining market equilibrium. When multiple producers offer similar goods, they compete on price, quality, and service. This competition drives prices toward equilibrium, ensuring that consumers get fair value and producers remain efficient. In highly competitive markets, equilibrium is reached more quickly, and deviations are corrected faster. Understanding the impact of competition helps us see why some markets are more stable than others. Markets are not isolated. They're influenced by external factors such as government policies, technological advances, and global events. For example, a new regulation might restrict supply, shifting the equilibrium price upward. Technological innovation can increase supply or demand, altering the balance. By understanding these influences, we can better predict how equilibrium changes and why markets sometimes experience volatility. Let's consider the gasoline market. When oil prices rise, the cost of producing gasoline increases, reducing supply. If demand remains constant, the equilibrium price for gasoline goes up. Conversely, if demand drops due to more fuel-efficient cars, the equilibrium price falls. This example illustrates how supply and demand interact to determine prices and maintain market balance. Consumer preferences are a powerful force in shaping demand. When tastes change, demand for certain products can rise or fall dramatically. For example, a shift toward healthier eating increases demand for organic foods, affecting their equilibrium price. Producers must adapt quickly to these changes to maintain balance and avoid surpluses or shortages. Producers constantly make decisions based on market signals. If prices rise, they may invest in expanding production. If prices fall, they might scale back or innovate to reduce costs. These decisions help maintain equilibrium by adjusting supply to match demand. Understanding producer behavior is key to predicting market trends and ensuring stability. Market equilibrium promotes efficiency by ensuring that goods are produced and consumed at optimal levels. When supply matches demand, resources are not wasted, and consumers get what they need at fair prices. Efficient markets benefit everyone, fostering economic growth and stability. By striving for equilibrium, markets minimize inefficiencies and maximize welfare. Prices in the market are constantly fluctuating due to changes in supply and demand. These fluctuations are natural and reflect the ongoing adjustments toward equilibrium. For example, seasonal demand for certain products can cause temporary price spikes or drops. By monitoring these changes, market participants can anticipate trends and make informed decisions. Elasticity measures how sensitive demand is to changes in price. If demand is elastic, a small price change leads to a large change in quantity demanded. Inelastic demand means consumers are less responsive to price changes. Understanding elasticity helps predict how markets react to shocks and how equilibrium is maintained. Supply elasticity refers to how quickly producers can adjust output in response to price changes. Highly elastic supply means producers can ramp up production easily, while inelastic supply indicates slower adjustments. This concept is important for understanding how quickly equilibrium is restored after market disruptions. Governments sometimes intervene in markets to correct imbalances or achieve policy goals. Price controls, subsidies, and taxes can shift supply or demand, affecting equilibrium. While intervention can stabilize markets, it may also lead to unintended consequences like persistent surpluses or shortages. Understanding the role of government helps us see the broader context of market equilibrium. Technological advancements can dramatically alter supply and demand. New production methods may increase supply while innovations can create new demand. These changes shift the equilibrium point, often leading to lower prices and greater availability. By tracking technological trends, we can anticipate future market shifts and prepare for new equilibrium levels. Globalization connects markets across borders, making equilibrium more complex. International trade, currency fluctuations, and geopolitical events all influence supply and demand. For example, a disruption in one country can affect prices worldwide. Understanding global markets helps us appreciate the interconnectedness of equilibrium and the challenges of maintaining balance. Disequilibrium occurs when supply and demand are not balanced, leading to persistent surpluses or shortages. This can result from sudden shocks, policy changes, or structural issues. Markets typically adjust over time, but prolonged disequilibrium can cause inefficiencies and economic hardship. Recognizing disequilibrium helps us understand the importance of restoring balance. When external factors shift supply or demand, markets must adjust to a new equilibrium. This process involves changes in prices, production, and consumption. The speed and effectiveness of adjustment depend on market flexibility and the responsiveness of participants. By studying these adjustments, we gain insight into how markets adapt and maintain stability. Expectations about future prices, supply, and demand influence current market behavior. If buyers expect prices to rise, they may purchase more now, increasing demand. Producers may also adjust output based on anticipated changes. These expectations can temporarily shift equilibrium, highlighting the psychological aspect of market dynamics. Market clearing refers to the process by which prices adjust so that all goods supplied are purchased. At equilibrium, the market clears, meaning there is no leftover inventory or unmet demand. This concept is central to efficient markets and is a key indicator of economic health. By understanding market clearing, we can better assess the effectiveness of market mechanisms. Invisible hand is a term coined by Adam Smith to describe how individual self-interest guides markets toward equilibrium. As buyers and sellers pursue their own goals, their actions collectively lead to balanced prices and efficient outcomes. This concept underscores the power of decentralized decision-making in achieving equilibrium without central planning. Sometimes markets fail to reach equilibrium due to externalities, monopolies, or information gaps. These failures can lead to inefficiencies, unfair outcomes, or persistent imbalances. Recognizing market failures helps us understand the limitations of equilibrium and the need for intervention or reform to restore balance. Labor markets also operate on the principle of equilibrium. Wages adjust based on the supply of workers and the demand for labor. When supply and demand are balanced, employment levels stabilize and wages reflect the value of work. Understanding labor market equilibrium helps us analyze employment trends and wage dynamics. Financial markets such as stock exchanges rely on equilibrium to set prices for assets. Buyers and sellers interact and prices adjust until supply matches demand. This process ensures fair valuation and efficient allocation of capital. By studying financial market equilibrium, we can better understand investment strategies and risk management. Goods markets from groceries to electronics operate on equilibrium principles. Prices adjust based on supply and demand, ensuring that products are available at fair prices. This mechanism helps prevent shortages and surpluses, fostering consumer satisfaction and producer profitability. Understanding equilibrium in goods markets is essential for both buyers and sellers. Long-term equilibrium occurs when markets consistently balance supply and demand over time. This stability is crucial for economic growth, investment, and planning. While short-term fluctuations are common, achieving long-term equilibrium ensures sustained prosperity and resilience against shocks. Summary: market equilibrium is the cornerstone of efficient markets. It ensures that supply matches demand, prices remain stable, and resources are allocated optimally. By understanding equilibrium, we can better navigate market dynamics, anticipate changes, and make informed decisions. Whether in goods, labor, or financial markets, equilibrium guides economic activity and promotes stability. Thank you for joining us on this journey through market equilibrium.